Cincinnati Bengals surviving the New England Patriots 22-18. Cincinnati out in front in a big way early in this one, but New England, after being shocked in the way that last week's game came to a close, finally comes to life in the second half and makes this one a ball game. But in the end, Cincinnati getting their 11th win of the season. All right, let's head up to the booth where our Charles Davis is standing by to break this one down. Charles, big moment early in this game I want to talk about as La'el Collins gets carted to the locker room. And we know that Joe Burrow is only as good as the guys in front of him can allow him to be. They do allow 4 sacks beyond the omission of Collins. What'd you make of that group up front and their ability to try and protect Burrow in this moment to get this W?
Yeah, obviously you want La'el Collins playing. That's why you went out and got him from the Dallas Cowboys and made him as your starting right tackle. He didn't have much of a training camp. We have to remember that. He had a back injury, did only practice a few times before he played in the opener. And you guys remember the opener against Pittsburgh, and it was Blitzburg all over again. And early in the season, Joe Burrow was getting hit a lot, harassed a lot, hurried a lot. Down the stretch now, over these last 7 games, they're giving up less than 2 sacks per ball game until today. Collins is very valuable for them. Hakeem Adeniji, he came in and acquitted himself nicely, but he's normally their 6th offensive lineman, and they use that a lot in terms of run game, early down situations. He had to play full time. Max Sharping came in as the 6th offensive lineman. He gave him 2 penalties. So it changes everything. You start to lose from your starter to your backup to your 6th guy. It's a big deal. They obviously they're hopeful that this will not be a long-term thing before the playoffs.
Protecting Joe Burrow was a big part of that run a year ago, as was Evan McPherson and his effectiveness and belief in that leg. Misses a PAT, misses a field goal in this game, CD. As you sort of take this one in and you keep your eyes on him longer than we can, what are you seeing out of McPherson right now? Because he is going to be called upon in a big moment down the stretch here for a team that has high sights.
Yeah, and I think today he got caught in the maelstrom, which was a certain end zone here in New England, because it got Nick Folk a couple of times as well. So part of that is where the winds are, how things are going, etc. But he has missed some extra points along the way. Coming into today, he had missed 4 extra points on the season. But always remember this. In his short career, he is 14 for 16 from 50 yards plus. I don't think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to give up on Money Mac just yet. I think they think that he'll be able to pull it back for them when they need him.
All right, it's that time of the season where we look at real contenders and maybe we get a little bit critical of them, see what they're lacking. We've checked those boxes. Let's go positive here on the Bengals. What did they show you here? Week 16 is sort of that home stretch indicator of we're going to be something or we're going to step back. And one of these 2 teams was going to do one of each of those things. What did the Bengals tell you today in their effort here towards the playoffs?
Well, they told me that we understand who the Bengals are and how good they are on offense and how confident they are, and they came right out and showed that. We understand that they're a defense that their numbers are not going to suggest how good they truly are. All right, their numbers are going to be middle of the pack, but they are so cohesive. They play with what they call unconscious competence, where they all understand where each other's going to be. They fill all the right spots at the right times. Remember, this is a Bengals defense that while they may not be at the top of the food chain, they held Derrick Henry to 38 yards rushing, Nick Chubb to 34 yards rushing. DJ Reader keys everything inside. But they also showed us they are a team that is gritty. Last week, down 17 to Tampa Bay and Tom Brady, win going away in the second half. This one they played from the front and almost gave the whole thing up, but found a way to make the big play down the stretch, forcing the ball free from Ramondre Stevenson, and they make the big play. The one question I have, and you guys can kick this around if you want to, when are we going to see an NFL team close someone out that they have in a Cobra clutch? We've seen this too much this season as far as I'm concerned. These teams are choked out, yet somehow they let them off the mat. Minnesota did it with Indianapolis last week. We saw Kansas City let Denver come back 2 weeks ago. We saw it this week with Cincinnati. You're better, you're more talented, you're controlling the game, yet somehow you're in a ball game in a dogfight. I know it's the NFL, but I'm waiting to see that team that just says, guess what? We've got it. We're finishing you off.
We would love to see Cincinnati or some of these other favorites finish in that ilk. It's a real feel of 1 degree, all the elements of championship football. And speaking of those elements, Charles Davis, go get warm. We appreciate you. Happy holidays, my friend.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to all.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.